Recall, some days before the Osun State governorship election, there was a viral video recorded during a political gathering in Ilesha where a senator called Francis Fadaunsi spoke in Yoruba, and this is what he said. "What kind of life is this? We don't want to hear anything about the Accord party again in Ilesha. We have now told you until the election period. Whenever you see them, kill them. Even if they come with voters' cards, we won't allow them to vote." Now, there's a reason why I decided to start this video with what that man said, because he's an APC member, a senator representing Osun East. Now, in order to avoid something like this from repeating itself during the next election, there was a peace accord meeting. But here's the thing, Rufai Oseni and Dr. Abati watched the same peace accord signing and the same Osun election results, and somehow they walked away with two completely different verdicts. One of them says Tinubu shouldn't even be called a winner. The other one calls him exactly that. First, I need to give you some context. Nigeria's presidential candidates were supposed to sign a peace accord ahead of the elections, a tradition meant to keep politicians civil and issue-focused. Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu didn't show up personally, neither did Atiku. Both sent representatives instead. Now, both Rufai and Dr. Abati had something to say about that, and while they agree on the basic facts, listen to how differently they frame it.
As regards signing of presidential peace accord, anybody, I repeat, that doesn't deem it fit to appear to sign peace accord does not take Nigeria serious enough. You see, this thing I've just said is a clear categorical statement. A lot of people will defend, they will push things around, they will say, no, you don't know what you are saying. But in years to come, you will see that I'm right. Anybody, I repeat, that doesn't deem it fit to go there when his colleagues are signing peace accord will not take Nigerians seriously. Let me tell you their defense, because I think for both sides. The first defense, they will say, he doesn't really need to come. He might have been busy with state matters, but he sent a strong person there, sent the Secretary of State government there. What is your own, Rufai and everything? He doesn't need to come. In fact, the next argument they will make is that, he will sign the final one. No worries, this is not only going to be the peace accord. There's going to be another major final one and all of that. He will sign that one and everything. But I have said what I said. Anybody that doesn't deem it fit, be it the first one or the second one, or any of the peace accords, to come and sign, then they are not ready. But let's even go straight into the peace accord. It's a good novelty. It's not a novelty, we've been doing for quite some time in our election now, but it's a good addition to our election calendar. Because at least people get to sign what they will not do. But at least it still holds them morally in check. Because most of them that are signing it, they will still go back and bait on the lines of religious. They will still go back and bait on the lines of ethnic sentiments. The other day, Ginger said what he said. Apart from few people, as the presidency officially released a statement condemning Ginger, Sheikh Gingar.
No, that's the best.
But people in the presidency were quick to attack Cardinal Onayeka, isn't it? So we know where the slant is. So despite the fact they said it, because you see, they don't have ideas to win election. It is always going to be sentiment across religion, race, and all of that. It is never about moving Nigeria forward. Nigerians, you better shine your eye. There are over 100 million on the voters register. If at least 60 to 70 million of you don't come out to vote, you're not ready to make your country better. So don't complain if your country derails. You have no right to complain because this is your part you are playing there. So if things are as easy as a peace accord, people are not there, whatever reason they are going to give, the optics just shows that they will not take you seriously. I'm waiting for the defense because a lot of people are going to mount a defense. For me, I don't care. I speak my truth and the truth is timeless.
Rufai's point is direct. If you don't attend, you don't take Nigerians seriously. Representative or not, the optics alone said the wrong signal. So I want to ask you, let me know in the comments, do you agree with what Rufai Oseni said? While answering that in the comments, make sure you like and subscribe. Listen to this.
President Goodluck Jonathan and what he said, the word of caution that he contributed to this conversation, which is to say that this growing practice of political figures, senior government officials, members of the ruling party, storming anywhere an election was taking place like off cycle, as we saw in Ekiti. And we have just seen in Osun, he says it is unhealthy for democracy, that the objective should be free, fair, democratic participation for the people. And that when you have senior government officials and you have major public figures who are in office storming the place, that what that creates is that it limits the scope for free participation, because it gives the impression of federal might, as we all know. It also gives the impression of intimidation, harassment, and an attempt also, to frighten the people, to impose a climate of fear. And I think that it's a growing practice that should be discouraged. Now, he then cited the example of when he was in government. In 2013, in Anambra State, in 2014, in Ekiti State, he said when word came to him that senior government officials, members of the ruling party had relocated to those two states, he said in both instances, he quickly gave the order that those people should leave immediately, allow the electorate and the institutions to do their work. And I hope that that is a very informed advice, for a man who has been through that process before, who has been leader of this country and who knows where all the corpses and ghosts are buried. And I hope that the professional political class will try to learn from that voice of reason going forward. That's that about that. And that takes me immediately to the National Peace Committee. Actually, that National Peace Committee was established when this same President, Goodluck Jonathan, was president. And that was ahead of the 2015 general elections, in the lead up to which certain political figures, certain prominent figures in this country, some of them, many of them, still active players on the scene, were threatening that if PDP should win that election, that Nigeria will burn. And there were security reports that, in fact, some people were already acquiring dangerous weapons, that if the election was announced and President Jonathan was announced as the winner, that there will be bloodshed in the country. It was within that context that we put out a statement by President Jonathan. He's saying that his ambition is not worth the blood of any Nigerian. He made that statement long before the election because the environment was becoming, anything goes. And I guess that's why President Jonathan put in his own comment that, look, this idea that politics should be do or die, nobody should entertain that. So that message, relevant in 2014, is also relevant in 2026. So now, this time around, ahead of the 2015 election, they've also intervened early enough to say that all the presidential candidates should sign the peace accord. Well, those who were not, they are sent representatives. I've been told that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu sent the secretary to the government of the federation. The whole idea is that all the various parties have committed that there will be peace. It now remains for them, not just to sign symbolically, but to live up to that particular promise. And that's what we expect. And in fact, if that election is free, fair, and peaceful, it will be to the glory of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who will be able to say hereafter that as president of Nigeria, he presided over free and fair elections. And he might as well also cite Osun, where you have an opposition party as incumbent, and everything went peacefully.
So I'm asking you personally, did you notice the difference? Because Abati agrees the absence sends a negative signal, but he is careful to point out the accord isn't legally binding in the first place. So there's a ceiling to how much weight you can put on it. And Rufai, it doesn't give that room. To him, showing up or not showing up says everything about whether you actually respect the process. Same event, same absence, two very different verdicts on how much it should matter. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because this is where the two of them actually split on a fact, not just an opinion. There is a winners and losers list going around from the Osun election, and Tinubu's name is on the winner's side. But Rufai Oseni no agree. Listen to this.
As regards the winners and losers, they put President Tinubu there. I will not put President Tinubu there. I will not put President Tinubu there. Have they paid Osun local government money till now? Have they sorted out Osun local government money till now? Dr. Abati, you are more vastly. Have they sorted out Osun local government money till now? Okay, very good. You don't know that was part of the election strategy. That was part of federal might they started using in advance to cripple the local government structure so that their own loyalists will have the upper hand. These days saying that because President Tinubu reversed the EFCC freeze. Yeah. Do you know an investigation revealed that it was even more than one account they froze? I think some of the newspaper carried it. After public cry, that was when President Tinubu reversed it. Anyway, he reversed it. After public cry. Then they didn't stop there. They said because he called Adeleke. President Tinubu only called Adeleke when federal might failed. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. We deceive ourselves too much. You know Davido is not a politician, so he say it elaborately. You heard all the things he said yesterday. You heard the number of people that were calling him in the corner to take down his tweets. That's why part of the winners, I will add Davido and his tweets. Davido's tweets. If a part of the winner is Twitter, X platform. If I'm going to write that list, I will put Twitter, the social media X, as part of the winners. Because if X didn't give Davido a platform to in real time ventilate, if it was back in the days, I mean, you couldn't have done such a thing and keep people in check now, because you have to go to a newspaper editor, grant an interview before they will print the newspaper and everything. So I will add X, I will add technology as part of the winners. You saw how many people were saying was calling him Adibago, yeah, bring down your tweets now. He said, no, I'm not going to bring down my tweets. I'm not going to bring down my tweets. It's my uncle we are talking about. Family ties are more than anything. Then he also made allegations about the billions they spent. If there was no federal mandate, was that money for free? Was it to come and do kings? Or they wanted to do empowerment program in Osun State? So it's election day, they want to do empowerment program. Over 100 billion, Davido said. He said he got the new information. His father was saying how much is this something big. He said no, they got an updated information. So you
Yet to be verified.
Verified anyway, because they have a right of reply, they will say their own part. But you think it was play. But at least the people verified that they were sharing 15,000 now. So the people that were in the polling that were saying Oju to win 50,000. So if they didn't see that they were sharing 50,000, would they be saying they were sharing 50,000? Did they see Oju to win the last election like that? So federal might, in fact, if I want to broadly categorize it, the winner is Osun people. It's not even about Adeleke. Adeleke was just a symbol. The broad winner is Osun people. The loser is federal might. That's true if I'm going to have two big categories. And please, Nigerians, if you think delusionally that what happened in Osun, it will be that easy in 2027, don't delude yourself. Because people will go back to the drawing board and perfect ways. As regards what Wiki said, but he has not said what he cannot do. Has he not done it constantly? Didn't you see the BBC report about the Rivers presidential election 2023?
How? Is it how?
He will do it.
All right.
So maybe he knows how to engineer better than the ones that they send. So that's why he's saying, even if when he's saying he doesn't even care about anti-party activity for him, doesn't even care about anti-party. So maybe President Tinubu needed to go and learn machinery from...
So it's more politically sagacious.
Now, Starboy Wiki.
Rufai's argument is specific. He says Bola Ahmed Tinubu only engaged with the governor-elect after federal might had already failed to deliver a win for APC. He points to a local government funds still unresolved and to the EFCC freezing salary accounts in the state. Something Rufai frames as a pressure tactic that only got reversed once public outcry became too loud. So to him, none of that qualifies as winning. If anything, he calls federal might itself the real loser of this election. Now listen to how Abati sees the exact same set of facts.
Talking about winners and losers. Well, you may not agree with all the details there, but I think it's, the assessment is fair enough in terms of the choice of the winners. But in describing the losers, I disagree with one or two. Well, let me still talk about the winners. Davido. Yes, Davido, Adeleke family. I think every family needs a son like that, who can stand up for family and stand up for every member and project that family and can be seen physically and in terms of his profession upholding a family legacy that is now, I think, in the third or the fourth generation. Now, he was the leader of the youth wing of the Imole Campaign Council, and he was responsible for mobilizing youths. But he not only mobilized the youths, he also mobilized Nigerians and even the international community to draw attention to the all-important election in Osun State. Yesterday, he gave a press conference. He addressed the youths, thanked them and all that. The only thing I would like to say to the video is that I saw a video where some youths in Osun were going up and down the streets of Osun, and in fact, they went to the house of the APC woman leader, where they were singing the derisive song, Kule Bosode, Alakori Tilekumori, Kule Bosode. Since these people belong to the Davido's constituency, you should find a way of telling them to calm down. The election has been won and lost. Nobody should be harassed after the election. Everybody should exhibit the spirit of sportsmanship. In terms of the losers that this day talked about, yes, those persons who stormed Osun State. I used to put the number at 22 governors and senators. Apparently, they were more than that. They were close to 80. I saw another report that said 22 governors and 57 lawmakers, either senators or members of the House of Reps, almost about 80 people. And they didn't go alone. They went with their aides. They went with their hype men, like that character from Benin, who was talking like he was in a drunken state. That is one hype man saying, Akaku has arrived. What did he say again? Adeleke should lift her now. And we will kick Adeleke out, somebody who is completely of no relevance to Osun politics. And I was commented on the guy. Such people do not have any role in the matter because this is part of the intimidation that President Jonathan was talking about. So I agree with this day that all those people that went there, they are losers. What difference did they make at the end of the day, other than going to foul up the environment and further intimidate the people of Osun State? I also agree that Senator Mishori from Ife, is also, a winner of sorts in this particular matter. Because you recall that he wanted to be the gubernatorial candidate of the APC, but he was not allowed. He was shunted aside. So he endorsed the APC candidate, but obviously the way Accord won convincingly in his polling unit, it was very obvious that he didn't lift a finger to help the APC candidate, which is some kind of lesson in political calculations.
Well, Abati doesn't deny the EFCC situation happened. He actually agrees it was criticized, but his read is the opposite of Rufai's. He says reversing that decision, under pressure or not, still makes Tinubu look like a Democrat in that moment. Same action, one man calls it proof of manipulation, the other calls it proof of democratic responsiveness. So here's my honest question for you. When Tinubu reversed the EFCC account freeze after public pressure, is that a sign of accountability like Abati says? Or is it proof the pressure was the plan all along, like Rufai is arguing? I beg, drop your honest take below. I genuinely want to see both sides represented in the comments. So there you have it. Two respected voices watching the exact same event and landing on opposite conclusions about who really won Osun. No bias, just both sides lay out plainly. And if you are yet to subscribe, do that now. Like this video, make sure you share, let's keep everyone informed. And by the way, you need to see this next video.